Hello and welcome to the Enchanted Rose printable journal tutorial. I'm going to start with just giving you a list of tools that you're going to need and additional supplies. So first you'll need a paper trimmer. If you don't have that, you could always use a straight edge ruler and an X-Acto knife, but paper trimmers just go so much quicker and give you a really nice straight cut. You'll still need the ruler, a crocodile or a regular hole punch. I like to use the corner punch for my pages, but if you don't have one, that's fine. Scissors, a bone folder, some type of glue, an ink pad or Sharpie or another type of marker. And for additional supplies, you'll need some blank cardstock or paper of some kind, some string for binding your signatures, and some type of ribbon for the final binding. Okay, so let's get started. So I went ahead and I've trimmed out all my pages. You can see here I've got all the extra tags and stuff to embellish later. There's all kinds of cool things in here. I also went ahead and inked my edges. Now that's what I wanted to show you, was that if you don't have an ink pad, you can always use a Sharpie or a marker of some kind, and what you do is you just go along the edge. Let's say you wanted to ink the edge here. You can just go along the edge like that. And that just kind of covers the white and hides any imperfections if you were using scissors and that you have some little jagged edges. So you don't have to invest in ink pads for these kinds of journals, which is cool. Okay, so like I said, I went ahead with my pages, and I also like to use a bone folder to make a nice clean fold. And the way I do that is I add my page in this way. It's just a little trick I saw on YouTube one time. Just like that. And then I apply some pressure here like this. And that just helps me fold my pages nicely like that. Okay. I also went ahead and did the same where all the lines were shown on the cover. And then I did the same thing. This is going to be the inside cover of the journal. So I made the folds in the corresponding spots there. Okay. The next step here is going to be trimming off paper. So what you'll want to determine ahead of time is how many pages you're going to want in each signature. So these are your signatures here, okay? And these are all going to be like sections in your journal. And inside of these, you'll have all your blank pages. Now, one way to trim your pages is to use your paper trimmer and measure 8 inches by 6 so that they'll be the same size as these pages. And you can even take away like 1/8 of an inch so that when everything's folded together, things aren't hanging out too much on the edges. Or the other way, which I like, and it's super fast and it gives your journal a more tattered look, is to use a ruler and just tear. So I'll show you how I do that. I just go in and I make my pages just a tad bit smaller than the signature covers. And then using a ruler, I line it up with my marks. And I just tear like that. Just like that. Now I'm going to show you how I punch the holes in to bind the signatures. I take all my inside pages and I fold them in half. And I had predetermined earlier that I was going to use 2 of these inside of each of my pages to make my signatures. So I would stack my pages inside like this. And using my hole punch or crocodile, I've set it to the maximum allowance of 1 inch, and that's where I'll punch my holes. So I'm going to center it with the fold, just like this. Like that. And you would do this for every section, every signature, until you're done. And when we come back, we'll string them and bind them all together. Now when I come back with my pages, they're all going to be tea stained to make them a nice tattered, shabby, brownish color, which I will also show you how to do in a separate video. Okay? Okay, so my paper has been tea stained and my signatures are ready to put inside the journal. The string's been cut to about 3 times the length of the pages so that you have enough string left over for binding. Okay. Now if you're using the Enchanted Rose kit, it came with this extra piece, and this is where it gets used. So it goes inside the book along the spine, and it gets folded at about 1/2 inch on either side with the patterned side facing up. And you can put grommets or eyelets at the same distance, at the 1 inch, like this. So these signatures will be attached to the inner spine, and that way when you close your book, your spine will be nice and clean this way. If you're using my other kits that don't come with this, then you would simply punch your holes in on the spine here, and you would attach your signatures inside here with your strings coming out on the outside. Okay? Alright, so once you've attached all your signatures, your inner spine would look something like this. And if you've got some extra string here hanging out, you would just cut that down. Okay, now next is gluing this part to the front. So your journal's almost done. All you need to decide now is how you want to close it. You can either add a larger grommet here and loop your ribbon through it to tie it up, or you can just flip that inside this way. Or use any other type of closure that you want. So I hope that you find my tutorials helpful and that my instructions are easy to understand. If you do have any questions about my kits and how to assemble them, or any of the techniques that I've shown you, please contact me. I am happy to help. So I hope you have fun with this kit and any of my other kits. I'd love to hear from you, and I really appreciate you watching. Thanks a lot.